In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at search engine optimization, and there are 10 key things that we'll look at, and I've split them into 2 videos. Okay, so what is search engine optimization? Well, it's a way of helping search engines such as Google, Yahoo, and Bing find your site and understand what it's about. Now, the chances are, if you don't do search engine optimization, they will find your site anyway. It may just take a little bit longer, and they may not have a good understanding of what your site's about because you haven't got the right keywords and you don't have it laid out as they would like it so that they can properly understand it. Okay. It's about helping search engines match user search queries with relevant results. So for example, if a user is at a search engine and types in cat food, the search engine wants to make sure that the results are about cat food, buying cat food, nutritional value of cat food, and so on. They don't want to see a result that's about dog food. It's about increasing visitors to your site who are interested in what your site has to offer. So for example, it's not about your tag in a search result saying cat food, and then when they go to your site, it's about something completely different. So it's about matching what people want with what your site has to offer. And it's not about getting the most absolute number of visitors to your site possible using any means possible, simply because that won't translate into more customers. It won't translate into people who are going to keep returning to your website. It will just mean that you will have what's called a higher bounce rate. So they will just appear on your site, look at it, find out that it's not for them, and move on. And that's not really good in the long term for your website. So the first thing we're going to look at is site properties. Go to File, Site Properties, and we'll click on the Search tab. So under the Search tab, the first item is the page description. This will be the description that will appear when your website is included in a search result. What's important to note is that this is a global page description and will only apply if individual pages do not have their own page description. You should always aim for all pages to have their own unique page description. So the second thing are the tags or keywords. These tell search engines what your site is about. In this instance, since we are about Wandsworth Borough, we have listed the towns within the borough. Again, this is a global field and will apply to all your pages. You should aim to make these tags general and relevant to all the pages, and ideally should not include more than 10 here. In recent years, most search engines have reduced the value they have placed on keywords and tags, but search engines regularly change the way they behave. The second tab we'll look at is Search Engine. The first 2 items are about creating robot meta tags and search engine robots files. A robot file is basically a text file that will tell search engines what they should not include in their results, what they should exclude. We're interested in the create search engine sitemap file. So we're going to check that, and it will give it a default name of sitemap.xml. We're also going to make sure that index pages on this site is checked. If this isn't checked, it will not include all the pages within your website. Now what a sitemap does is basically it outlines the structure of your website so that the Google and the Bing and the Yahoo search robots can find their way around your site and know the structure of your site. The next part is sitemap settings. Now these will be the default settings that are there, and we're going to be quite happy with them. We will look at them in slightly more detail in another tutorial, particularly the display page priority, but for now we're happy with our site properties and we can click OK and move on. So the next step is to actually create a page and put your content on. So all I've done is I've just added a new page to this website, and I've just added this article about an event that's happening in Wandsworth to help charities. Now, the key thing to remember is you shouldn't have to change the content to make it more search engine friendly, because the reality is it's the content that people are after, not on its ability to be on a search engine result. And if you've got good content, it will get found pretty much no matter what. So good, fresh, up-to-date, relevant content is king. But what we can do is we can make some adjustments to the way that search engines will see that content, just to make it a little bit easier for the search engine. So the first thing we can do is, if we've got a heading, we can tell search engines that, hey, this is a heading, it should take priority over the body text. So to do that, we go to text, paragraph, and under paragraph and HTML, we just click H1 and we'll click OK. And that will tell search engines that this is a heading. The other thing we can do is, if we've got pictures, is we can make sure that the pictures have names that mean something. So WebPlus will normally just give it a random name that will mean nothing to you, me, or search engines. So when we import a name, we will make sure that it means something. In this instance, this picture is actually called Robin Stewart Autism, and that's what the article is about, and that's what the picture will be uploaded as. To make sure it gets uploaded with that name, right click on it, image export options, make sure that you've chosen save to my chosen path and name, make sure it's got the right name, and make sure that under choose file it's going to WP images. Everything else can remain the same, that's fine. We also make sure that there's also an alt tag or alt text, so if people are looking at it and they can't download the pictures because they've got a slow connection or something, they will get the alt text instead. And if someone is looking at the article using a text reader, it will read out what's in the alt text as well. So that's another thing we can do. Beyond that, we're not going to do anything to the article itself. It should always stay as it is. The only thing I'm going to do is highlight anything that I think is going to make a good keyword or a good key phrase that we can add to the tag or keywords for this page. So I've done that in yellow, and we'll now look at the page properties. You can look at page properties first and then do the article, or the other way around. It really depends on how you work. Okay, so now we're going to turn our attention to page properties. So we'll go to the page, right click, page properties, and we'll start at the navigation tab. The page name is literally what you will see in WebPlus. It has no effect on search engine optimization, but just to make it easier to remember, we'll give it something more memorable. We're going to check specify page title, and what this is it's the first thing that will appear in the search result, telling people what the page name is. We're going to give that something that will make it very appropriate for search engine. And it's just the name of our website, article, and the name of the person that the article is principally about. I'm also going to change the file name so that it's more meaningful than page, and it more represents what the article is about. So we're just going to change that. And we're quite happy with those things now. And in a moment, I'll show you exactly how they will appear in our search results. So next, we're going to click on search, and we're going to enter a description here. Again, the moment we enter a description here, it will override the global description that we entered at the start under file site properties. So this time we're going to start it with Robin Stewart, and this will be the description that will appear in the search results. We're also going to add individual keywords for this page, and these are the ones that we've sourced from the article itself, the ones in yellow. So we'll add those. Now, since this is about Wandsworth, we're going to include the global keywords from the site properties. This will by default be checked, so you shouldn't have to do that. If you uncheck it, it won't include them, but because we've used general ones, we're quite happy to keep it checked. So we do that and we click OK. And that's pretty much all we can do from within WebPlus to make our website more search engine friendly.